Hey, good morning, everybody. My name is Jared. I host a daily live podcast where we discuss news and politics, and that's goddamn right. My t-shirt says Stop ICE, and it has an ICE agent arresting fucking Jesus. And again, if you are a veteran or on IRR or in the reserves or the guard or on active duty, hey, just know that the UCMJ says that you do not have to follow unlawful orders. And it's like I'm holding back two groups of people, okay? One group of people is like the military is now cops, ACAB. And it's like, hold on, fam, I'm ACAB, I'm fuck 12. But adding in the military, which is supposed to be apolitical, so you got to understand, like, the military is the last thing that we have that guarantees our safety. And I know people are like, what? The UCMJ? Yeah. So understand, when you're the president of the United States, you're also commander-in-chief. So I get it. He thinks he's immune and he can do no wrong. But as I've said before, so far it's all a dog and pony show. That's right. You see, the president absolutely can order some Marines around to guard federal buildings, which is what he's done so far. They haven't actually participated in law enforcement activity unless it was outside their official duty. So before you say, Jared, they're fucking parking on the National Mall. Yeah, they do that shit all the time. What Donald Trump is doing is saying one thing and doing another. It's just like he says, Stephen Miller says Iraq is Baghdad. I'm sorry, Iraq is Baghdad. Jesus, Baghdad's in Iraq, Jared. You'd know that if you'd been there. He said Washington, D.C. is like Baghdad. Washington, D.C. is probably one of the more peaceful places I've ever been to. It's actually one of the rare, despite the fact that most Republicans are millionaires that took money from Russia, traitors, and that the president of the United States, his wives, his children, his best friend's wife, ran an international sex trafficking ring for the better part of 20 years. And the whole goal was it wasn't a double-edged sword. It was just two swords. Donald Trump is a pedophile. So's Jeffrey Epstein and a host of wealthy people all around the world. Powerful world leaders, business leaders. And look who's consolidating their power behind Donald Trump. Billionaires, big tech, social media, website owners. Anybody else missing Tom about right now? That motherfucker ducked out for $1 million, never to be heard of. And I don't even think I ever actually saw him in person. What a life. That was a MySpace joke. But yeah, I see Gavin Newsom going toe-to-toe with Donald Trump, and I think that's what the Democratic Party needs, is a fucking spine. As much as we all love AOC, Bernie Sanders is old. No offense to Bernie Sanders. Love him. He's old. You got to get some new blood in here, and you got to get strong male leadership. Everybody knows it. They just don't say it, right? And it's like Gavin Newsom fills the hole. But here's the way I think about it. Is he the best person for the job? President? No. There's someone out there that is tired of all of the racism and sexism and transphobia and homophobia, all the inane hate, all that asshole hate, bigotry. I just want that to lose. I want common sense to win. And when I say common sense, here's the way I think about it. Okay? I'm just going to say it. When I was in high school, my best friend, his name was Wes, and we were going to go to Purdue together, and he backed out late, like our senior year, second semester. And so there was this guy that went to our church. His name was Drew, and he was fine. We were fine. We became friends. And then we went to Purdue together and we were roommates, and he raped a girl on Labor Day weekend, which is coming up. Like, she was fucking unconscious when I went in and he was on top of her. And I backed out of the room and, like, took a breath, and my RA got involved. Called the police, all kinds of shit. It was a rough night. Drew left. Now, he left under the presumption that he otherwise was going to get charges, and it was going to be a very public and nasty thing. And so him moving out of our dorm room that same fucking weekend, his parents came up there. And you know what his parents did? They called me a narc. I acted like I told on him. He was fucking a corpse. What are you talking about? His parents, in a moment of trauma, decided to just absolutely not have their son take accountability for his actions and throw the person that tried to do the right thing under the bus. And more on that in a moment, okay? Now, I have never spoken to Drew since. I was having lunch with my mom months ago, and she asked me about him. Like, how's he doing? How the fuck would I know? And she was like, what's wrong? And I explained what had happened when we were in college. And she looked at me in horror and was like, how did I not know that? And I was like, well, that was when you were dating Greg Law in his shit show. And she was just like, oh my God. Yeah, he came back, and this is over 20 years ago. He came back to Mooresville, Plainfield, Indiana, and just told everybody that y'all had political differences. What? Now, there's no statute of limitations on violent crime. And now that you know, that I know, that Drew Ward didn't take accountability for rape, and that was my roommate over more than 20 years ago. And it's something I don't like vividly remember, but I recall greatly how the men around me came quickly to understand, because I still had like girlfriends. I still dated. They kind of understood what had happened. And I didn't. It's not like any of them people and I were not friends. But yeah, I want to make sure we talk about like why this feels for me, why I can't cover for this administration when it does something wrong, is because I never have covered for someone when they do something wrong. When you do something so fucking heinous, there's no more us. That's how that works. Yep. You fuck up. One of my favorite lines ever from Top Gun. You fuck up just this much, you'll be flying a cargo plane full of rubber dog dicks out of Hong Kong. Now, in retrospect, probably not the worst gig. Like you're a pilot internationally, probably making some coin, but they're penises, dog dicks. Come on now, not very useful. And that was made in 1978. Congratulations. But yeah, I want to make that video to say like, no. Like when you fuck up real bad, like criminally, it's going to fuck up some relationships with people that value their personal reputation, right? And you know, they say don't get to know your friends, and that's because eventually the truth comes out. People have to tell you who they really are. And so I want to make this video because a lot of people like can't understand the disrespect for President Trump. And it's just like, you know, would you be friends with a rapist? No, right? Would you vote for that guy to be in charge of us all? Probably not if you knew that. But when the media doesn't cover it, I just think that there's somebody that you want working for you policy-wise while Gavin Newsom fights Donald Trump. That should have been the whole video. Sorry. But that it matters who your friends are, and these people are all friends. Except for like Gavin Newsom and Trump, they don't like each other. That's fucking for sure. But one of the things I realize is that Gavin Newsom is one of the most powerful people on the planet, and you have to understand how they behave, right? Obviously, he's not writing all them tweets in all caps as a social media manager, okay? But I just wanted to spit all that out. Have a good rest of your day.